Hi, I'm Michael. This is Akshay, Anthony, and Henry, and we are OverTime. We make sure that student athletes never clock out. This is John, a football player at the University of Maryland. He always dreamed of becoming a professional athlete, but he just does not have the talent that it takes. After 3 years of spending all his time on sports, he has failed to develop the professional connections he needs to be hired. Meanwhile, 98% of the 480,000 NCAA student athletes are in the same predicament. Sports have created significant time constraints for them, which limit their career and networking skills.
So we launched OverTime, a simple multi-platform application that directly connects student athletes to professional recruiters who are looking for students who are looking for jobs. A user begins by creating a profile with their major, intended career path, and interests. Then, OverTime uses proprietary algorithms to connect student athletes with relevant recruiters. Using OverTime, student athletes can get jobs at an average of 3 months quicker than without it. OverTime aims to get 50% of users jobs by the time they graduate, which results in nearly $50 million of additional salary. We will start by selling our product to university athletics programs who will pay an annual subscription fee of $20 per student. We will start at the University of Maryland, where we already have traction.
The director of marketing for Maryland Athletics indicated that they will pay for our product if there is sufficient interest from the student athletes. Additionally, Maryland's Senior Associate Athletic Director recognizes the huge potential of our product and will introduce our platform to other Big Ten schools. Now, many of you are familiar with how LinkedIn users can communicate with one another by sending cold messages that will never be responded to, or congratulating someone on a new job position. OverTime, on the other hand, focuses solely on facilitating direct conversations between recruiters and student athletes about new job positions. It will clearly convey the information that recruiters desire, such as major and intended career paths. Additionally, OverTime will provide conversation starters for the student athletes, as many lack networking experience. Maryland Athletics thinks that OverTime is a winner, and our financials say so too.
In years 1 and 2, we will address the 480,000 NCAA student athletes. And after having a loss in the first year, we will get our break-even point by year 2. Then in year 3, we will begin to address the market of high school athletes, who we have found to have similar attributes and needs to their collegiate counterparts. And this will lead to a seamless and natural transition between the two. Through addressing this much larger market, we will be able to gain revenues of over $13 million while having over 360,000 users on the site and over 7,000 recruiters, all by year 5. Because the University of Maryland Athletics has already shown strong interest in our product, we need to have a service that is ready for use. We have already developed an alpha version of our website. However, we need $5,000 in order to design a functional multi-platform application. The funds will go towards the design of the application itself, as well as populating our database with the recruiters. Thank you very much. We are OverTime.
Have you met with recruiters? Well, I guess my first question is, are you thinking of like corporate recruiters, in-house recruiters, and have you gauged their interest?
Thank you very much. That's a good question. And so she was asking what our traction is like with recruiters right now and what our experience is. And I'm going to give the mic to Michael for this.
So, thank you for that question. We actually did speak with recruiters, and yeah, we do mean corporate recruiters, professional ones who are looking to hire people for entry-level positions. And when we spoke with the recruiters, we found that they actually do like to hire student athletes because they have teamwork, communication, and time management skills. And although many people probably think that student athletes, don't get as good grades because, they're spending all of their time on sports, we actually looked at a study by the New York Times, and the most conservative estimates say that on average, student athletes only have 0.1 lower GPAs than their non-athlete counterparts.
What's your exit strategy?
Yeah, sure. So the question was about our exit strategy. So first I'll speak about our financials. So by year 5, we are looking to have a net income of about $4 million and about 250,000 customers. Now, this is our scalability through year 5. So by year 3, we will be targeting high school student athletes and the rest of the NCAA at that time. Now, we also have an idea to target professional athletes who are actually retiring and need to have jobs that are not directly in the sports that they've been performing in. And so our exit strategy is really to get a lot of users and be able to charge that $20 per student athlete or per athlete fee. And once we get to that point, we think our company will have like $100 million valuation by maybe, not by year 5, but maybe in year 10 as we keep expanding our company and really getting that staying power and network effects that are so powerful for selling a company.
In year 5, you've got 75% of the market, though. Is that right? 360,000 students in the database. Is that?
Well, the question was about what percent of the market that we actually have in year 5, and that would be 75% of the 480,000 NCAA athletes. I'll go back to our market slide. But there's actually 8.3 million total student athletes, which includes high school student athletes. So that isn't 75% of the 480,000, since we'll have already moved to high school student athletes by year 3. Thanks for your question.
What's the proprietary algorithm?
Yeah, sure. Well, the question was about the proprietary algorithm, and I'll hand this off to Akshay.
Yeah, so
You don't have to tell us if it's proprietary.
Just don't tell anybody else and we'll be fine.
So this is an algorithm that helps student athletes connect to recruiters better. Rather than just showing all the recruiters like in a list, like randomly, it would be based on a variety of things. So the student athletes can put in what their intended career paths are, their sports, and perhaps their stats and stuff like that. And the recruiters can also put in like what careers they're looking for, what job openings there are. So you can get that connection between those two. But also it learns as you go. So as the network expands, you can say, let's say for example, a recruiter from some company has recruited 5 football players from the University of Maryland. If a new football player signs up on the site, that person will probably show up higher on the list because that person already has connections with people from Maryland. So it sort of learns as you go.
Thank you, guys.